What's up, traders? Matt from the Trade Brigade here doing a technical analysis on ticker symbol BLNK for Blink charging. On the left-hand side, we have the daily time frame, and on the right-hand side, the 30-minute intraday time frame. First thing I need to make you aware of is that in the after-hours session, they gave us an earnings announcement, so let's turn that on and see what's going on with the numbers. So quite a bit of volatility, I would say, before I could even see it. But, I mean, look at this. So big green candle at one point in time, way up here at 41.44. Upper wick would indicate that we've given all of that and some a little bit back based on these red candles, and the majority, I would say more than 50% of that move has actually been retraced. So it's not a true sign of strength in my estimation. It's still very likely that we may open on a gap up for tomorrow's session, but remember, a lot can happen between now and 9:30 when the bell actually rings. Now, because our overnight high is so far away from the anticipated open, let's just call it 725 for round numbers sake as of right now, because there's so much distance here, it's going to make the opening trade much more difficult to play out, and we'll talk about why right now. So the reason I say that is because if we zoom in on the daily, basically the first thing we always think about whenever we're dealing with a gap, could be in either direction, up or down, is the gap and trap. And what the gap and trap looks like would be opening here, failure to take out the overnight high, trading lower through the open, triggers a short to fill the gap underneath. Now, notice how big our risk overhead is versus our reward to fill the gap. It just doesn't make sense to risk 3 to only make back 1. So in my estimation, again, because these numbers right here are so far apart from one another, it's going to make the opening trade much more difficult to pull out. The second reason why is because, of course, on the continuation play, so number 2, the gap and go, we would essentially look for the open to drive up towards the overnight high, some sort of bull flag to be put in, could look like an ascending triangle, right? So something that looks like this, higher lows into it. That basically, because the distance is so far, a lot of work would have to be put in from the buyers to get us there, never mind take it out and really trigger a larger breakout to the upside here inside of Blink. And even if it does, I was sort of looking at this chart prior to recording, notice that we have big resistance here at 44.17, as well as right above that at 46.38. So keep in mind, right, if the buyers are going to do their job and push it into the overnight high, fine, but you're really only trading for another couple of bucks on top of that, where the meat of the trade was really what happened in that overnight session. So in between the anticipated open and the overnight high. So I'm just not seeing it as a clean trade as the levels are right now. Now, again, a lot can happen between now and 9:30. Maybe the anticipated open becomes much closer to that overnight high, in which case that would change things, right? When we open here, fail to take out the overnight high, do something like this through the open for lower, that gap fill trade is now much more attractive. Can we short this thing? Absolutely. If you come over here, it is hard to borrow, but look at the volume here on the put side of the contracts. Okay, at the 30 strike, you certainly see 4,500 contracts there, 2,000 at the 28 strike, 3,000 here at the 33 strike. So it is doable. There is enough volume there to short it via puts if you do want to play the downside on the gap and trap come tomorrow morning if the open wants to get closer to that overnight high. So that's really going to wrap up my thoughts here. As of right now, it's not abundantly clear what the setup may be, but those are the numbers that I would be watching out for if any one of those setups does become in play based on an adjusted open. So that's going to wrap it up. If you enjoyed the video or learned anything new, let me know in the comments section or by giving the video a thumbs up. Don't forget our main channel is linked in the description. And all of that being said, I wish you a green trading week.